What we tend to forget is that we are all coming from the same planet. On our planet, we have trees, flowers, multitude of animals, oceans, but step by step, we realize that our relationship with this nature is one-sided. Unconsciously, by evolving, we lost what our ancestors spent so much time preserving. Nowadays, some of us still do not understand why nature is so important for life itself. That's why today we're gonna talk about what we can really learn from nature and why it is crucial to care for it.
Welcome back to the After Show, your new monthly choice for everyone and all. I'm your host Edgar, and this is
Tsunam. Hi everyone.
Hi Zunan, how's going on?
Fine actually. What about you?
Oh, I'm very excited for our new narrative voice, Dylan. Thanks, Dylan. You just brings out so many crucial points for today. And I will have to say, as a human, we are extremely lucky to witness all the humans' evolutions from the past till now. It is amazing to see so many changes. But it also brings me the concern that it seems like we already lost some connections with our environment. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And actually, recently, last year, to be honest, researchers spend a lot of time trying to prove the benefits we get from nature without even knowing it. So I think it's a time of change.
Yeah, and this is tricky. Ever since we found we can have a lot of benefits from our nature, while we keep the distance from it. So today we will explore some alternative lifestyle and some innovational technology and even some artworks today. They're all somehow inspired by our environments.
But before all of that, let's jump to the What's in My Box with a lot of good selection for you today. Let's watch it. Mixing indigenous music with modern music? Damn, this band is totally interpreting what we know. Between traditional instruments and electric guitar, they are playing into nature as they do belong to it. Their style seems so unique and genuine. When I think about nature, I just hear this song. Want to discover something original? This is your chance.
My octopus teacher. When it comes to the relationship with animals, we might usually project our feelings from the human's perspective. But this Oscar-winning documentary takes us to an incredible journey of a man and an octopus living in the South African kelp forest. The filmmaker spent around a year with this wild creature while going through the rock bottom of his life. This film has convinced us of the precious value we could all learn from nature if we ever listen and open our mind. Septarian 龟背石 Septarian is formed during the Cretaceous period. This time period began approximately 145 million years ago and ended 66 million years ago. That's around the time the dinosaurs disappeared. In Chinese interpretation, we call it turtle shell-like stone. Doesn't it just look like that? Septarian nodules are made up primarily of three different minerals. The yellow center is calcite, the brown lines are aragonite or siderite, and the outer shell is limestone. They are sometimes likened to a prehistoric mud bowl because of the way they form. Some believe the healing power of Septarian revolved around taking care of the planet. It could increase both physical and mental flexibility. With its being associated with Earth, it's incredibly grounding.
Today, let's prepare some potato waffles in case of you wanna have fun. For that you will need a ladle, a waffle machine, wheat flour, baking powder, margarine, coconut milk, some chives, 2 big potatoes, salt and pepper, sesame oil, and some sauce. Let your margarine melt slowly in a pot while you prepare the rest. Peel your potatoes and cut them into little pieces. In a bowl, mix flour and baking powder. Add coconut milk slowly while stirring up the mixture. You can add your potato pieces. Also add your melted margarine and mix the whole together. Add salt and pepper to eat. Grease your waffle machine with sesame oil and light it on. Take one ladle of your mixture and put it inside the waffle machine. Repeat the action until you finish your bowl. add some chives on top of your waffle and a few dots of your sauce. And voila, your tasty and healthy potato waffles. Bon appétit! Wow, if I can be honest, it's like one of my favorite documentaries ever. I really learned so much watching it. Like, I never expected like an octopus could be so smart and has so much feelings towards a human. That was really incredible. And now I really need to be friends with an octopus.
Octopus has shorter life, but it managed the time so well. It's even better than me. I think it was incredible to just have a journey with a living animal for almost all his life, and I was amazed by this. And also, I can't wait to dance with Otacon. It was amazing. But right before we dance with Otacon, let's just jump into Culture Club. And welcome back to Oh, Zuna, what's happening?
I'm so sorry about that. I told you, the situation in France is a bit tricky recently, and I haven't been able to pay my bills. I'm so sorry.
Ow! Zuna, I think we're back. Actually, are we running out of the batteries from our environment? Can you tell me more about this?
Yes, actually in France it's a bit hard for people right now. We have low wages but still have high bills. It's really tricky and it's very unbalanced for most of the people. We have a lot of protests in the streets and the situation is really difficult, I will say. But I'm curious about, is it the same in Taiwan?
Well, I have to say it's a global issues right now. Ever since, there are so many problems happened in Europe and it just connected together. Either it's from political situations or from the energy shortage. In Taiwan, everything is connected. I don't know how to say that. Just from the bakeries to the restaurants, from the gas stations. The price are always higher and higher. People are talking about this. We're even fighting for an eggs because we find there are not much eggs out of some problems. So, do you concern about the environmental challenges we're facing?
Yeah, actually, by growing up, I realized the impact of the nature on myself. I really love nature. I love being among those plants and animals. It's very peaceful and I feel relieved when I'm outside. And I think it's important for most of the people, even if they don't really noticing it. So, what about you, Edgar?
For me, I think it is interesting that humans are tend to control of nature, even if we're simply just trying to survive. But nature is way beyond our prediction or any defamations. No matter what, we have to admit that we're facing more environmental challenges nowadays, and some people are already taking their own actions. So, in today's Culture Club, we'll bring you several stories of how we can learn from environments. For each categories, we summarize different topics into hashtags. Let's start with our very first one, nurtured.
Nurtured because actually the nature is maintaining us on our daily life. Some researchers analyzed data from 900 and 1,000 Danish residents. They realized that the people living near green areas had less chance to develop psychiatric disorders such as depression, schizophrenia, eating or substance use disorders, and they also realized that the risk of developing mental illness was 55% lower than other people. It means we are actually taking benefits from nature without noticing it. And they also say that the sound of nature was pretty relaxing and pleasing our brain. That is unexpected. And those results actually can be explained because we inherit from an innate drive to connect with nature from our ancestors, which is so fascinating. This is totally coming from a lot of observation.
Observation. As an individual or tribe, for its special powers and survival skill, to serve as a guardian or protector when facing adversity. Our ancestors would build up spiritual relationships with animals through observation. So as you see, there's a fox there. We're talking about how we can learn from our animals. Let's start with the totem tradition in Native American tribe. The spiritual powers of the various totems helps each clan to carry out its own special duties and responsibility within the tribe in accordance with the attributes of that totem. For example, the Turtle Clan, as you can see now, usually being the tribe's keepers of wisdom, the guardians of the legends and mysteries within the tribe's ceremonies and practices. Totem poles may be messages passed on by those that carve them. The pole's symbols may often tell a very personal story of the carvers themselves, as well as that of their family, clan, or tribe. So after we learn the history about our ancestors' reactions to the animals, what can we actually learn from nowadays? Each spirit animal had certain powers and skills to teach and certain knowledge to share. You do not choose your spiritual animal, it chooses you. Surprise, huh? According to the book Animals Speak, as you can see here, by the author Ted Andrews, here are some signs to figure out your relationship with spiritual animal. So Zunam, I would like to ask you if there are some signs linking with the animals. The first one is, have you ever obsessed with some specific animals?
Yes, actually with lions. I never knew why, but I feel really linked to lions and I like to go to see lions at the zoo.
It sounds powerful for me because those animals we are obsessed with must have something we can learn from. Okay, the next one is a little bit tricky. What is your scariest animal? What scares you the most?
The spiders. Yeah.
I'm glad you know the spider is animal, not bugs, because some people might confuse or misunderstood about this. Because some wizard or shaman, they think the fear itself will be appears as a shape of animals, only if we are willing or we are facing with our fear, that they can turn their obstacles into a magic to us. This is also kind of like they said shadow totem, which is amazing. So we may have so many animals in our dreams, but the only one who always appears might be crucial, might mean something a lot to us. The recognition of these seemingly synchronistic occurrences teaches us to beware of the hidden message in everyday's experience. That's how we can turn our observation into reflection. And here's our next hashtag, reflections.
Reflection, because actually permaculture is a reflection to find sustainable answers at our little scales. They want to replace consuming society and to create an autosufficient economic model. Bill Mollison and David Ongrin, the creators of permaculture, also set some values. The first one is to care for the earth and to give provisions for all life systems to continue and multiply themselves. The second rule is to care of people. They want everyone to be able to access to essential resources such as food or water. The last one is to set limit to population and to the consumption. They want to equally redistribute every resources. The ultimate goal behind permaculture is to find new solutions that you can try by yourself. Most of the time in permaculture you will see some garden with geometrical shapes. This is actually to maximize the space. They want to place each plant next to a specific one so they can equally complete each other's and distribute their nutrients such as carbon to their neighbors. The real mindset behind permaculture is to observe the nature, to discover and to adapt resilient ecosystem to ours. For example, in France, a teacher decided to make an experiment in her classroom. She invited her students to move freely around the space. She moved the table and the chairs, and she asked them to learn the lesson by themselves and to teach her the lesson to them. Unconsciously, they just collaborate with each other. They assimilate their skills and knowledge and use it in consequences. This was a real success because they relied on each other and they all feel useful. Permaculture is not only about agriculture, as you can see. It's about living in harmony with our environment and take the greatest benefits from it. Permaculture is just a way to reinterpret our way of living. And this is leading us to the next hashtag, #reinterpret.
Reinterpret. So, what is trash to you? It's weird to ask that, but maybe the definition of garbage could be reinterpreted into a different kind of treasure. We see the wastefulness of consumer society and throwaway culture has a severe impact than we actually can imagine. That's how some people would do dumpster diving, also known as totting, skipping, skip diving, or skip salvage. But all the other way, this kind of behavior is salvaging from large commercial, residential, and industrial and construction containers for unused items discarded by their owners but deemed useful to the picker. It's not confined to dumpster and skip specifically and may cover standard household waste containers, curbside, landfill, or small dumps. It could all count. People dumpster dive for items such as clothing, furniture, food, and similar items in good working condition. Wow, that's really amazing. And is it kind of like a trend here when you can find people finding treasures in the trash cans? It might become with a bigger controversy or a concern. So always to make sure it is already dumped and clean the space after you do the dumpster dive. If you're concerned about hygienic or health issues, don't pick out the food, but start with something like furniture. You could even make trash into artwork and run to the business about it. Let's see Deborah Rappaport, a 77-year-old visual artist working with non-traditional and repurposed materials to create clothing and accessories for over 50 years. She turns garbage into high-fashion hats. Wow, check this out. Giving things a second life. As she once told the press, frugality is fun. That's mind-blowing, I will have to say that. So also, when we're speaking about turning trash into your pot of jewelries, I have my own personal story to share. As you can see, this is my own necklace, which I redesigned from old pieces, and its innovative definition for me from old memories of personal belongings, because they used to belong to different kind of like necklace, but I made it into one. I wish I can see your necklace too. Okay, so if it's impossible for you to do the dumpster dive, you think it's too dirty or too risky, okay, but you can start buying gradually expiring items or support local farmer markets, then wholesale. And that's all the 4 hashtags of today's Culture Club. I wish you will feel inspired.
Now that we know that we can all work together, nature, animals, and humans, and complete each other, we can make everything more sustainable and efficient. And I feel really better because we saw so many methods and ways to improve our lives by caring for everyone, including every live beings.
No matter how the technology turning into different kind of forms, we're always influenced and live with our nature or so-called environments. So I think we should all rethink the binary system of what we think is benefit to human or damage to human. This is not the way we want to live. Humans are part of the history, but not all. So I wish you all will feel nurtured by all the stories we share about you today in Culture Club. Oh, Zuna, I think we just received a news flash, don't we?
Let's watch it. A sphere that can turn any liquid containing H2O into drinkable and clean water. This company created a sphere which is totally autonomous and solar, This sphere is able to receive any kind of unpurified water like sea or any dirty liquid that contains the H2O molecule and transform it into distilled water. By adding some minerals, it will give you drinkable water. The most amazing thing is that the entire machine and minerals are around $5,000. The creator even said he tried to put acid inside the sphere and he has been able to drink it entirely. I don't know if you realize, but this creation could just solve the water issue of the world. Bioluminescent plants instead of streetlights. This French young woman created a nutritive serum entirely organic that she can simply inject inside the ground. Thanks to this process, she is now able to grow any plant with bioluminescent properties. And her idea is even more impressive. She is using those magical plants to light areas thanks to solar blue light ampoules that you can put instead of any standard street light. The result? Green cities, no overlighting, less energetical consumption, and a fantastic natural show in front of your eyes.
This MPO makes us having fun while protecting the environment. Rethink is a Taiwan nonprofit organization formed in 2013. Started with organizing beach cleanup events, they've already gathered more than 30,000 people joining recycling activities and removed almost 128,000 kilograms of trash. Not just a group of environmental activists, but they are also creative educators. In 2018, Rethink and popular AR game Pokemon Go curated beach cleanup events. The gamers would get rewards after picking up trash. They also published a guidebook of marine debris to indicate the pollution issues. They even designed a series of environmental education board games for children in school. For now, you can still find them contributing to our environment in a creative way and making us rethink the way we live. That's all for today's news flash. Thanks for watching. Hi, welcome back. And finally, we come to the end. Oh my god, today it's such a huge topic for Apto 3. It was incredible because I think we're dealing with multiple environmental issues. Children in Taiwan who were born in the 90s start learning the impact of climate change. I want to discover more practical ways of eco-lifestyle from different countries and cultures. From the younger generation to elders, we'll never stop learning the crucial lesson from the nature. What about you, Zunam?
Yeah, I think that humans are too focused on their own lives and they tend to forget what is really essential, which is coming from nature. But our relationship with nature is a bit tricky. We just think that it's not important. And with time, we begin to understand that it is crucial for everyone and that without nature, we cannot be here. I think it's not just about climate change and everything like that. It's about surviving all together.
So, the after show is your new choice for monthly entertainment. We will give you some life's inspiration and alternative vision. Stay tuned for our next episode. If you're still watching, wow, you have such a good taste. Please do not forget to subscribe and support us on social media and Discord. You can check the links below and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Also, now we have Twitter account, not one, but two. One in Chinese and one in French. Don't forget, all the subtitles in French and Chinese are available for every videos we make. Et n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre pour ceux qui parlent français sur le Twitter, aussi sur le Discord et tous les autres réseaux sociaux. On espère vraiment apprendre beaucoup de vous et pouvoir tous partager les trucs ensemble. Donc si vous avez des idées aussi à nous soumettre pour les prochains épisodes, n'hésitez pas à nous envoyer un message et on vous mentionnera dans la vidéo si on utilise vos idées.
Sorry, you speak a little bit fast, but I want to say, 其实每一集节目都可以打开 CC 字幕，我们提供了中文的选项，然后我们的 IG、脸书、Twitter 也可以欢迎随时用中文来与我们沟通。我们将提供更多优质的节目内容，来自不同的文化。感谢你的收看。
对啊 So
Okay, wow.
I want to know, what's your story with nature?
Dima.
Today's fortune cookies. It's better to have left powder in the mouth and more linings in the hands.